ಮಹಾಕಾಯ ಸೂರ್ಯರೂಪಿ
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್. ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಬರ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಬರ್ಸಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಬರ್ಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಕೆಲವು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ನ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು, ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾನು ನಂತರ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರು ಮಲ್ಲಿಕಾರ್ಜುನ ಅಂತ. ಸುಮಾರು 25 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ನಾನು ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡಲ್ಲೇ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ನನ್ನ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಜಾಬು ಇನ್ಫೋಸಿಸಲ್ಲಿತ್ತು. ಅಗೇನ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎ ಸಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್ ಆಸ್ ಎನ್ HR ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಥರ. ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ, ಕಾಲೇಜ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಂಪಸ್ ರೆಕ್ರೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ. ಕ್ಯಾಂಪಸ್ ರೆಕ್ರೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಜಾಬ್ಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿತ್ತು. ಜಾಬ್ ಹಾಕಿದ ನಂತರ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಆ ಜಾಬ್ಗೆ ಅವರು ತಕ್ಕ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ಗೊಂಡು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಕನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಗೋಲ್ ಇರ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಆ ಗೋಲ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ. ಸೊ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್, ಆಸ್ ಎ ಟೀಚರ್, ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಟಾಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಎ ಟೀಚರ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ವಿ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕಲಿ ಗೆಟ್ ಎ ಜಾಬ್ ಆಫ್ ಎನ್ ಹೈಯರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಏನ್ಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಪ್ರೇಯರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಗುರು ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಗುರು ವಿಷ್ಣು ಗುರು ದೇವೋ ಮಹೇಶ್ವರ ಗುರು ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ ಪರಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ತಸ್ಮೈ ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುವೇ ನಮಃ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಆಸ್ ಎ ಟೀಚರ್ ವಿ ಆಕ್ಯುಪೈ ಎ ಡಯಾಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಮಚ್ ಮೋರ್ ಲಾರ್ಜರ್ ದೆನ್ ಗಾಡ್ ಹಿಮ್ಸೆಲ್ಫ್. ಸೊ ಈ comes through us and then he starts training the students. So ಆ ಒಂದು faith ಮೇಲೆ you will have to stand on the dais and then start teaching students. ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, there will be a right kind of vibes which can link with the students. Right now I have started the class, ನೀವಿನ್ನೂ ನಂಗೆ ಅಲೈನ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. But after 15 minutes when you ask yourself this question, am I aligned to the trainer, you will find yes, I am much more aligned now. The frequency is rightly matching now. After 1 hour, you will still find, yes, I'm perfectly aligned to the teacher. So we as a teacher, using various communication modes, we need to get aligned to the students. One of the greatest discipline, even without communicating, what we will have to put across to the students is time management. Now teacher always comes on time. No, my teacher always comes before time and he starts the class on time. See, communication skills andaga, let us not look from verbal communication skills. There is something called as non-verbal communication skills. Andre padagalna balsde lot of communication I have already done. I came early in the morning at 7 o'clock because I did not know how the traffic is going to behave. I showed that I need to take up these classes to a level which has never been taken by me earlier. So I proved in a non-verbal communication, coming on time or much before time. I have shown the first discipline of a teacher. And next, if the session is at 9 o'clock, I cannot log in at 9 o'clock. If the session is at 9 o'clock, I'll have to log in by 8:30 and get myself ready for the session, because sessions cannot start spontaneously. It needs a little bit of preparation. We are teachers, but learning does not stop just because we became teachers. Learning has to continue till the last breath. So every class has to be handled as though it is a new class for me. Only then I can pass on the energy to the audience. And learning has to be an happy learning. Though I need not speak about this session, because all of you are not looking so happy. First you will have to create that happiness in the students, because in miserable mind you cannot learn anything. In a happy mind you can always learn miracles. So let us create an happy mind. Let us try to understand what is the ultimate goal of our life. Any one of you? Let it be an interactive session. What do you think is an ultimate goal of life? The best job, best beautiful wife, best beautiful society, best beautiful grandson. All this came in the process. Every time it changed, and once it told getting into the best college is my aim of life. Beautiful. After you got into the college, getting into the best job, that the government job is my aim of life. After you got into the best job, no, I think marriage is my aim of life. After you got into the marriage, I think kids will be my aim of life. After you got kids, you started thinking kids growing up is my aim of life. Then after that, kids getting married is my aim of life, and after that, grandkids is my aim of life.
But actually in this process, did you understand something? You have never lived in this moment. ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ? You are always cribbing about the past, which I was not happy, and I am always anticipating in future I will be happy. That is how our life has been lived. I am taking the class right now. I am a teacher. Can I create enough happiness to my students? Because happily they can learn miracles. If their mind is disturbed, they cannot learn. Even when their Madhya Pradesh is disturbed, they cannot learn. When there is a pain in their mind, they cannot learn. So first I will have to bring them to an equilibrium of happiness, and slowly learning will automatically happen. Learning should be an happy, it should be a picnic. So to create that, let us understand our life. As a school kid, I want you to go back to your school kid. As a school kid, you and me, we saw our elder sister or elder brothers going to the school, and we also wanted to go to school. So we were crying to go to the school, and when the first opportunity of going to the school came, we were very happy, because we thought at home we are not happy, going to school we are going to be happy, and we went to school. First day we would have cried, but that crying was because of the detachment from my mother. It is not because of the school. If my mother would have sat next to me, I wouldn't have cried, I would have been double happy. But first day I went to school, and I started realizing what an happiness. Second day, what an happiness. And slowly you started realizing, at home I was very happy. I think when I go to first standard onwards, I'll be happy. This is LKG, UKG, there is no happiness. First standard, second standard, big rooms and different teachers, I'll be very happy. And you came to first standard. Were you happy? It was only for 1 or 2, 3 days. And you started realizing what happiness, it's the same. I was much more happier as an LKG student, still more happier at home. I think there is no happiness here. Maybe when I go to high school, 8th, 9th, 10th, because I can wear pants. That will be the most happiest. And then you came to your high school, the same thing happened, and then you thought maybe in first PU and second PU I am going to be happier. You came to first and second PU, and you started realizing what happiness. I was much more happier as an high school student, still more happier as a primary school student, much more happier at home. And right now, what is this happiness? It's a burden everywhere. No. When I go to degree, I'll be very happy. And slowly what happened? You come to degree college, you think you are a free bird, you can do whatever you want. But that happiness was not consistent, it was shortfall. You always create a shortfall yourself. And you start thinking, I was very happy in my plus 1 and plus 2, still more happier in high school, much more in primary, much more at home. Right now I am not enjoying happiness at all. Maybe after my degree, if I get into the first job, I will be happy. Anticipating that happiness, you started hunting for a job. It was a struggle, and finally the struggle was fulfilled and you got a best job. At least be happy then. First salary, you were happy. Second salary, what happiness? So much of politics here. I was so happy at college, much more happier in high school. How happy I was when I was with my mom at home. No discipline of dress code, with dress, without dress, they loved me. Today I have to follow everything. And then somebody would have told you, because marriages are happiness. All of you have experience. You don't know, marriage comes with a package of hell and heaven. And you thought, as that boy who has graduated, who got the first job, somebody says, I think madhve ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಸುಖವಾಗಿರ್ತೀವಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಸಂತೋಷ ಉಕ್ಕಿ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, ದುಃಖನೂ ಹಂಗೆ ಉಕ್ಕಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಹೇಳಕ್ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ, ಹಳ್ಳಕ್ ಬೀಳ್ಲಿ ಮಗ ಅನ್ನೋ ತರ they say ಸಂತೋಷ ಉಕ್ಕಿ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. And you also go to your mama and say, mama, what? Mama, your mom knows it. Mama, ಅದೇನೋ ಆಗೋ ಅಂತಿದ್ದೀಯಲ್ಲ, I am ready. ಏನಾಗು ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಪ್ಪ, she knows it, she's trying to pull your leg, because she also know ಮಗ ನೀನು ಹಳ್ಳಕ್ಕೆ ಬೀಳ್ತಿರೋದು. For both boys and girls, what happens? Finally they give the green signal and you get married to that girl. From the engagement to the marriage, and after marriage 3 months, your wife, that means your spouse, your husband, that means your spouse, looks like an angel. After 3 months they get converted to devil. And you will be surprised, is this the angel what I actually fell in love with? And then you will realize, yes, the front portion is angel. Bahar actually apple hai, under mango hai. जब
means when we talk about life, when life puts you into the test, बाहर का एप्पल बाहर ही रहेगा, जूस निकलेगा तो वो मैंगो का ही जूस है, and for the first time you will realize marriage is a package of hell and heaven, and it is in your hand. What do you want to create? Again I am telling you, marriage is a combo offer of hell and heaven. It is in your hands. What do you want to create? And there are people who have created beautiful marriages. There are people who have created miserable marriages. Now, then both of you started realizing, what is this bachelor's life was so beautiful. I still remember that bachelor's party. I want to have multiple such parties. Is there a control Z? No. What is control Z? Undo. Is there a control Z? No. In marriages there is no control Z. You will have to continue with life. And somebody says, Maklar, everything will be okay. Happiness will start pouring in. And then you do certain things and then you will get the first child. When a child is in the neighbor's house, it is very beautiful. You can go avagaga, chinnu muttu, you can do and come back. But if the baby is in your home, he is the boss. You would have kept your home so neat and clean. There is a place for everything and everything in its place only. There is a time for everything, everything in its time only. The husband would have controlled the wife would have controlled the husband, and they would have kept their house so neat and clean. And this man comes out. And when he comes out, there is no difference between puja room or a toilet room or a kitchen room. And what time urination, where urination, what time kakka, where not kakka. No! You give him to Modi also, he doesn't care. Modi tata, he doesn't warn him also. Yako ni maga eno madangide. It's understood, he is the boss. When will you sleep? 9 o'clock sharp we go to bed. When the boss is there, when he sleeps, you sleep.
Yes.
When he gets up, you get up. And for the first time, you will start telling, what a devil is this? You love him. I'm not saying you don't love him. Love is different. But the happiness is not there. And then you start thinking, maybe when he starts going to school, happiness will come. You send him to school for the first time to create happiness for himself, to create happiness for yourself. And when he goes to school, slowly you start realizing as soon as he goes to school and comes back from school, your jawabdari, that means your responsibility is becoming bigger and bigger. And then you start realizing if he goes to high school, you will be happy, your problems will become more and more. If he goes to college, you will be happy, your problems still becomes more and more. And when he gets married, you will be happy, your problems will multiply. Because saas bhi kabhi bahu bhi kabhi saas ke saas and bahu will always have ek duje ke liye. And you started realizing how nice it was as a school child. And when you look at all this, you're not living in this moment. You're always cribbing about the past which you were not happy, and you are always anticipating that in future you will be happy. And you get your kids married, and kids will have their own kids, and when a grandson comes, you think it is happiness. Yes, every moment of your life is a happy moment if you decide I'm going to live happy. The choice is in your hand. Every time the choice is in your hand. You can right now be happy or right now be miserable. I'll give you many such instances where situation will always remain the same. But your decision of how you take the situation will either create happiness or misery. The greatest gift God has given us is we can always create happiness. And greatest misery what God has given us, we can always create misery. All of you have seen this Three Idiots movie. We will go to that result sequence. The result has been put. These three people look at the result from the bottom because they knew their performances from the bottom, and they are happy and they are unhappy. It's mixed emotion. They are happy because these two people have passed. They are unhappy because Amir Khan has failed, and they are coming with that unhappiness, natural feelings. Somebody stops them. Why are you so unhappy? You should be the most happiest people. Then he says, how can we be happy? He has failed. What? He has failed. He is a topper. As soon as he said topper, you should actually feel happy. They become miserable. How can he become topper? Oh God, let me not see him in the top, and they come and they see him in the topper. Happiness turns into misery. Ask yourself, who was responsible for that misery? Did any of your marks change? No. But still, your happiness became misery because there is a devil in you which always brings out miseries. You should have the control of yourself. As a teacher, our responsibility is still bigger. We are standing on a dais, and when we are addressing people that Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, much more than that, we should always be neutral.
That discipline has to be put. When I go to a session, come what may, I have never been late in my 15 years of session. I've been working for Technical for 15 years as a PT trainer. Never ever I've gone late, because I have already made up my choice. Come what may, I shall never be late. Whether the students come on time or not, that is the second responsibility. First responsibility of mine is, irrespective of, in spite of what the external situation is, I am going to be much before time and I will exactly start my class on time. Now we have spoken about happiness. Let me share one more beautiful example. It is one such incident which happened in all your homes. You assume whatever story I am telling, you will have to relate you as one of the actors there. Because you know, when you are watching KGF 2, you don't watch Yash as the hero. You take Yash photo, remove it, and then you take your photo, you put there, and then you are watching the movie. That is when we enjoy the movie. That is the happiness of enjoying the movie. When somebody is successful, when you celebrate that success, that is what is actually happiness. You can build abundant happiness. It is possible. Everything is under your control, but the choice has to be made. Right now, the next 1 hour, 2 hours, a choice has to be made. Either I can attend this class happily, or I can sit miserably thinking of, yesterday's class was not so good, today's class is not also so good, but instead, let me sit in this class with a faith that this class should transform me. And transformation will happen. The only difference between a good student and a bad student, a good teacher and a bad teacher, is the story of Dronacharya. Dronacharya was a very successful teacher, not because he trained Arjuna. Dronacharya was a very, very successful teacher because he trained who is called as Ekalavya. Physical presence was trained by Dronacharya to Arjuna. Online classes was given from Dronacharya to Ekalavya. Online means Dronacharya, when he was teaching, Ekalavya used to sit on the trees and observe. During the COVID time, people used to watch the screen and then learn, and still we found that he was much more successful. There were a lot of students who were much more successful. So a teacher's pedestal is very, very important. All these has to be expressed in stories, only then the student can relate to it. Now coming to the story. All of you know there was this Super Lotto lottery which was legal, and Bangalore also had one. One of the days I am sitting, my father is there, I am sitting here, my sister is in the puja room, she is about to light the lamp. Immediately I am reading a newspaper and I see a Bangalore boy has won 3 crores of rupees. As soon as I read that, it was natural happiness that came, and I told a Bangalore boy has won 3 crores, dad. My dad was happy. My brother was still sleeping. I just said it loudly. My mom was very happy. My mom was preparing the coffee. With that happiness, she reacted. What she told, my sister's name is Manju. Manju, edido deepa hachtidiya. Anyway, you're lighting the lamp. Instead of oil lamp, why don't you light ghee lamp? God has given such a beautiful gift to Bangalore. Let us celebrate. Celebration was in process, and I'm continuing to read the newspaper. Mama said, shall I continue? She told yes. Mama, it has come to Bangalore South boy. And we were also from Bangalore South. We were still more happier. Mama, it has come to Wilson Garden boy. I was still more happier. Mom was happier. My sister was happier. My dad was happier. My brother who was sleeping, he was also very happy. And I continued. Mama, it has come to 11th cross only. And we also stay in 11th cross. We were very, very happy. And finally I read it has come to 213/61. Our door number was 213/60. Their door number was 213/61. And it was Ramesh, who was our neighbor. Immediately pin drop silence at home. My mom shouted, Devre, ನನ್ನ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ನಿನ್ನ ಕಣ್ಣ ಕಾಣಲೇ ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಅವ್ರ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಓದಲ್ಲ. Means their kids do not even study. Sometimes when you look at students, what I wanted to say is, I don't know how God picks up. Some of the last benches would have become so successful, some of the front benches would be hunting for jobs. And we have seen this. So God's way of settling the accounts is unique and you cannot challenge it. And we are telling Devre, alla bittu avare kaanbekitta ನನ್ನ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಯಾಕೆ ದೇವರೇ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕಾಣಲಿಲ್ಲ. Immediately there was pin drop silence. My mom waited for some time. She could not control and she told ತುಪ್ಪದ ದೀಪನೂ ಬೇಡ ಎಣ್ಣೆ ದೀಪನೂ ಬೇಡಪ್ಪ ಊದ್ಬತ್ತಿ ಹಚ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. So this has not happened in my life, but what I am telling is If you put yourself into that particular position, my mom will always be happy even if it is for the neighbors. But this is how we react. When the happiness comes to our neighbor, we don't enjoy it. When the happiness comes to our relative, we don't enjoy it. When success comes to them, we don't enjoy it. Then we cannot occupy this dais as a teacher. We disqualify ourselves as a teacher. You should give up this job. You should pick up anything else. So we need to consistently keep happiness. Happiness has to be given in abundance. Bhagavad Gita says human body is like a magical vessel. Most of the religious books like Quran and Bible say human body is a magical mind, a magical vessel. That which you take out of this vessel and give on to the outside world, the more of this will pour from God. That is what we say. All religious books say the same thing. If I start giving happiness in abundance to the students, happiness will start pouring. If I give misery to the students in abundance, misery will start flowing. So the choice is yours. What do you want to give to the students? What do you want to give to the world? Let me give happiness. But do you give happiness? Even in English, we use happiness in lot of scarcity. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಖರ್ಚಾಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೋ ಅನ್ನೋ ಥರ. ಈಗ ಯಾರಿಗಾನ ಒಬ್ರಿಗೆ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಬರ್ಡೇ ವೆಯ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸಿ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಬರ್ಡೇ ಅಂತ ಸಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಾ. ಯಾರೋ ಒಬ್ರು ಲೇಟಾಗಿ ಬಂದರು, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಬರ್ಡೇ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ರಾ? ಹಾಂ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ. ನಾನು ಅವ್ನು ಸಿಗ್ಲಿಲ್ವಾ? ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾಳೆ ಸಿಗ್ತಾನಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ವೆನ್ ಯು ಮೀಟ್ ಹಿಮ್ ಟುಮಾರೋ, ಟೆಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿನೆಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ಡೇ. ನೋ, belated happy birthday. That means you go back to yesterday, celebrate your birthday and come back. How funny it looks. It has to be used in abundance. Happiness has to be spread in abundance. That's what is the life for. What is the ultimate goal of your life? Happiness. You have 10 crores, both the kidney is not working. Do you think that is actually success? No, that is the biggest failure. You have a lot of happiness, that is actually success. Materialistic needs can never bring you happiness, remember this. And all of us are running behind the materialistic needs. We came with nothing and we will go with nothing. Be happy. Why are you actually building up such a big pillar of property, such a big pillar of assets, which is not going to be carried by you anyway? You are not carrying this body also, forget about everything else. And when you know this, let us do enough karma so that the karma will come with us as a soul. When we travel, the karma will follow us. And God is very, very specific, and He loves teachers more than anybody else. That's the reason He has given us a pedestal as much, much more than God. So when we have occupied that, we have a separate queue for heaven. Be happy about that. A big round of applause for that. Because all of us are teachers. We'll have to enjoy being a teacher. So that the moment the judgment day comes, oh teachers alla, you come to this line. Yak sir, avrella teachers, direct heaven. Okay, Veera Yodha and teacher, both are put onto the same room, and then they will be sent to the same heaven. It's a beautiful feeling. Now you know that happiness should be given in abundance. Let us change our attended one full week of session. What do you beautifully say? Happy week end. Do you think it is a wish or a curse? Most of you will say wish. But yes, it is a wish. Saturday, once you leave your office, you are so happy because it is Saturday. You go home, you have the dinner like you have never had in your lifetime. Mushtana Bhojana you eat, and you will never look at the clock, what time I will have to sleep. Why? Tomorrow is Sunday. You will never depend on the clock also. Whenever you feel like you will go and lie down on the bed. And you will not look at the clock even to get up from the bed. You are so happy because today is Sunday and the wish is happy weekend. You are so happy. Nothing can stop you from being happy then. You have your breakfast at your own time with brushing the teeth, without brushing the teeth, because happiness. And then lunch you are waiting to have because it is Sunday and you have that heavy lunch, and after lunch 1 or 2 hours passes, something reminds tomorrow is Monday. What do you feel like? You feel like going to the calendar, tearing that Monday and putting Sunday 1, Sunday 2, Sunday 3. Because we want multiple Sundays. Monday blues is very dangerous. Why? It was your wish. What did you wish? Happy weekend. Weekend ಆಗೋವರೆಗೂ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಿನ್ನ happiness ಇರಲಿ, ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಮಗ misery start ಆಗಲಿ. Sunday night is the worst night. You're sleeping, your director is in your mind, you're sleeping, another training is in your mind, you're sleeping, your wife tantrums and devil is in your mind, you're sleeping, lot of things are coming, and tomorrow is Monday, oh God, why is this Monday, Same thing will happen to the students also. So a teacher will have to be ready to welcome the students on Monday with such bliss of happiness that they should always wait for that Monday. So what we do, we want to change the way we communicate with people also. Instead of very ordinarily saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, we want to make it happiness. Happiness should be constant, which I am going to use it. So what we do, we always use it like happy morning, happy afternoon, happy evening, happy night. Happiness has to be given in abundance. And it can be created. It is very easy. How you understand the situation makes all the difference. So we want to keep that happiness as constant. So what we do, we want to change the way we say. Now all of you will repeat after me. Happy morning, happy afternoon, happy evening, happy night. Now only morning, afternoon, evening, night, all the weeks now. Okay, we will start with Monday. Okay, happy Monday, happy Tuesday, happy Wednesday, happy Thursday, happy Friday, happy Saturday, happy Sunday. It is only weekdays, we want even the months now. Okay, happy January, happy February, happy March, happy April, happy May, happy June, happy July, happy August, happy September, happy October, happy November, happy December. All the seasons we should be happy. Happy summer, happy winter, happy rainy, happy spring. And final statement, irrespective of, in spite of, everybody, irrespective of, in spite of, whatever the situation is, my happiness is going to be constant. I communicated, I used every part of my body. Most of you, happy morning, happy afternoon. Namu il kuntidare elistidare elbittu hogbidtini. No, you see, when your body will not support, happiness will not come. I am ready to stay back till evening 9 p.m. Choice is yours. I need to go to communication. I communicated, but the communication has to happen with every part of your body. Every part of your body should be filled with happiness. Only then that can be transformed onto the students. So I want you to use both the hands. Both of you have both your hands. Can you feel your right and left hand? Okay. Now we will start with new. Happy morning. Right hand. Happy morning. Our madlilla. Innonsati madlilla. Okay. Ready, steady, go. Happy morning. Happy afternoon. Happy evening. Happy night. Illa our morning alle idare. Our kelgade badle illa. We will start again. Happy morning. Happy afternoon. Happy evening. Happy night. Happy Monday, happy Tuesday, happy Wednesday, happy Thursday, happy Friday, happy Saturday, happy Sunday, happy January, happy February, happy March, happy April, happy May, happy June, happy July, happy August, happy September, happy October, happy November, happy December. 4 seasons. Happy summer, happy winter, happy rainy, happy spring. Irrespective of, in spite of whatever the situation is, irrespective of, in spite of whatever the situation is, and irrespective of, in spite of whatever the situation. Sir is not doing full Vadvidana. Okay, ready, go. We'll start again. Okay, ready? Steady, go. Happy morning, with me, okay? With me, ready, steady, go. Happy morning, happy afternoon, happy evening, happy night, happy Monday, happy Tuesday, happy Wednesday, happy Thursday, happy Friday, happy Saturday, happy Sunday, happy January, happy February, happy March, happy April, happy May, happy June, happy July, happy August, happy September, happy October, happy November, happy December, happy summer, happy winter, happy rainy, happy spring. Irrespective of, in spite of, whatever the situation is, my happiness is going to be constant. Now, only first line will say. Ready, steady, go. Only the first line will say. We will start. Only the first line. I am telling you, I have time till evening also. Ready, steady, go. Happy morning. Happy afternoon. Happy evening. Very first row. Ready, steady, go.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಹಂಗೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಬನ್ನಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೇಳಿ. ಕಮ್ 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 ವಿ ಆರ್ ಟ್ರೈನರ್ಸ್, ಗೆಟ್ ಅಪ್ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಇಷ್ಟು ಟೈಮ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಓಡೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಕಮ್ ರನ್ 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 ರನ್. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಡೂ ಇಟ್ ಅಗೇನ್. ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 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 ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಈ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದನೇ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡಿ. ಬೇಗ 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 ಬೇಗ. ರನ್ ರನ್ ರನ್. ನೋ ವಾಟರ್, ನೋ ವಾಟರ್. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹತ್ರ ಬನ್ನಿ. ಹೌದಾ? ಅಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ರೆಡಿ? ಹಾಂ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ, ಸ್ಲೋಲಿ. ಹುಷಾರ್, ನನ್ನ ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿನೆಸ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ಇರಲಿ. ರೆಡಿ, ಸ್ಟಡಿ, ಗೋ. ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ನೂನ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಈವ್ನಿಂಗ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ನೈಟ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಮಂಡೇ, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಟ್ಯೂಸ್ಡೇ, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ವೆಡ್ನೆಸ್ಡೇ, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಥರ್ಸ್ಡೇ, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಫ್ರೈಡೇ, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಸಾಟರ್ಡೇ, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಜನವರಿ, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಫೆಬ್ರವರಿ, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಮಾರ್ಚ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಏಪ್ರಿಲ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಜೂನ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಜುಲೈ, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಆಗಸ್ಟ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಸೆಪ್ಟೆಂಬರ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಅಕ್ಟೋಬರ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ನವೆಂಬರ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಡಿಸೆಂಬರ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಸಮ್ಮರ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ವಿಂಟರ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ರೇನಿ, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಸ್ಪ್ರಿಂಗ್. Irrespective of the kind of whatever the situation is, my happiness is going to be constant. Inge, my happiness is going to be constant. Good. Give them a big round of applause. Very good. Come, quick. Next row. Fast. The next row. Quick. Come. Run. ಇರ್ಲಿ ಬಿಡಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮಿಕ್ದವರೆಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ರೆಡಿ, ಸ್ಟಡಿ, ಗೋ. ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ನೂನ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಈವ್ನಿಂಗ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ನೈಟ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಮಂಡೇ, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಟ್ಯೂಸ್ಡೇ, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ವೆಡ್ನೆಸ್ಡೇ, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಥರ್ಸ್ಡೇ, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಫ್ರೈಡೇ, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಸ್ಯಾಟರ್ಡೇ, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಸಂಡೇ, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಜನವರಿ, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಫೆಬ್ರವರಿ, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಮಾರ್ಚ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಏಪ್ರಿಲ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಮೇ, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಜೂನ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಜುಲೈ, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಆಗಸ್ಟ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಸೆಪ್ಟೆಂಬರ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಅಕ್ಟೋಬರ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ನವೆಂಬರ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಡಿಸೆಂಬರ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಸಮ್ಮರ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ವಿಂಟರ್, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ರೇನಿ, ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ spring. Irrespective of, in spite of whatever the situation is, my happiness is going to be constant. Give them a big round of applause. Next. Run. Run. Come quick. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನನ್ನ ನಗುನು ನೋಡಿ, ಅವ್ರ ನಗುನು ನೋಡಿ. ಕೆಲವ್ರದ್ದು ಕಿಡ್ನಿಯಿಂದ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ, ಕೆಲವ್ರದ್ದು ಹೃದಯದಿಂದ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ, ಕೆಲವ್ರದ್ದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಯಾಲ್ರಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡೆ ನಾನು ನಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ತರ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. Irrespective of, in spite of what position you are, irrespective of, in spite of what salary you take, you as a teacher or a teacher, there is no comparison to you. Remember that. Have that dignity, have that self-respect, and stand on the dais. Miracles will happen. Do not, for whatever reason, develop inferiority complex. You are better than the leaders who are leading our country, because we created that leader. Okay, ready, steady, go. Happy morning, happy afternoon, happy evening, happy night, happy Monday, happy Tuesday, happy Wednesday, happy Thursday, happy Friday, happy Saturday, happy Sunday, happy January, happy February, happy March, happy April, happy May, happy June, happy July, happy August, happy September, happy October, happy November, happy December, happy summer, happy winter, happy rainy, happy spring. Irrespective of, in spite of whatever the situation is, my happiness is going to be constant. Good. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೂ ಹೇಳ್ಸೋಣ. See, because my topic is about communication, we are definitely going to speak about what is exactly communication, what is verbal communication, non-verbal communication. Ee PPT nimge share ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ma'am will be sharing it with you. We will talk about the elements of communication process. I used all the weapons. ನೀವು ಮಿಷಿನ್ ಗನ್ ಇತ್ತು, ರಿವಾಲ್ವರ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಕತ್ತಿ ಇತ್ತು, ಲಾಂಗ್ ಇತ್ತು, ನೀವು ಯಾವ ವೆಪನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯು ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎ ಗುಡ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಟರ್. Every part of your body has to communicate. That is what we say elements of communication. Yes, barriers of communication ಅಂತೂ we will be speaking. Communication barriers ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಮಾತಾಡುವಾಗ ಆಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಆಡಿಯಬಲ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ that is the biggest barrier. ನಾನು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ if the audience are not able to understand, that's again a biggest barrier. Or my voice is low, that is again a biggest barrier. So we will speak about external noise which can affect internal noise, that can affect concentration, that is not able to be achieved by the students because of the weather, because of the fan, because of the sound, because of the timings, because of sleepless nights. So all such barriers have to be handled by the teacher properly. Only then you can give an effective class. So we will speak about the barriers of communication, and you should also look at the listener's analysis. Listener's analysis andre nan sumne esita irbadu ball, I should see whether he is able to catch. A coach is the one who throws a fast ball to the person who can catch it, and a slow ball to a newcomer who has just enrolled. ಹೊಸಬ್ರು ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅವನಿಗೂ ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಎಸೆರೋ ಬಾಲ್. No, that is not how the coach works. That is not how the teacher will have to work. You will have to go to the level of the student and uplift him. That is where the skills of a teacher lies. A person who is capable of handling fast balls, we will try to throw in the fast ball. A person who is incapable of handling the fast ball, he should be respected because it's God creation. Most of the time, because when we consistently keep telling them do this, do this, do this, when they don't do, we get irritated. Even after you get irritated, if you scold, think of you as a mother and two sons are there, and somebody scolds one of the son. Do you feel happy about it? No. You feel like, how dare you do that, irrespective, in spite of whatever his intelligence is. God's creation is all of us. It is our karma that we are born as what we are born, and God treats us equally. In His books there is nothing yours is 99 minus 100. No, all of us are 100. It could be 3 such incarnations put together. Today you might be a fakir, and next day you might be a Modi, or next year you might be an Abraham Lincoln. We really don't know. So the calculation is always perfect. In this accounts book there cannot be any wrongs. So have that faith and continue with your communication skills. Never intrigue, never treat anybody high, anybody low, irrespective of, in spite of. So communication styles and communication influences. The style of communication is also very important. Points are there, but how we convey the points onto the audience. How my left hand is moving, how my eye contact is there, how I am looking at each and every one of them. Somebody thought I will not look at them, and when you catch them, he feels like I am also looked at, and he will automatically pay attention to the class. The rule of communication is also to not criticize anybody in public. Do not condemn any student in public. Do not complain on any student in public. Appreciation, do it in public. Criticism, bring them in close voice, one to one. Appreciation, one to many, in everybody's presence. This is a simple rule book of communication. Even at home you should follow that. Allow the student or the audience or somebody else to save their face. As a communicator, I cannot use you as an example and do negative examples. I can use me as an example, because I can be projected negative. I cannot project the audience as negative. So in communication you will have to understand these are sometimes called as bad communication. You are very good in languaging, but you are not actually talking to the audience in the manner it gets touching their heart. You should not repel from them. You should get attracted to them. So the words what we use, the examples what we use, and whom you use in the example, either people relate to it or people disassociate with that. The rule book has to be followed. Next we will talk about verbal and non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication is also your dress code, the pant, the shirt, the blazer, a tie, an ID card like this. It makes a lot of difference. It shows that he is a disciplined teacher. We will have to exhibit that, come what may. Shoe has to be polished, socks has to be white, a wrinkles-free shirt, perfectly fit shirt, irrespective of, in spite of whatever the training position I am, my dress code has to be perfect. That is one of the rule book, because that is non-verbal communication which people look at and then they associate. That is important. And verbal communication, for whatever good or bad reason, do not take religious things in your example, do not take sentimental things in your example, do not take personal people into example. Take your family, you have got nothing to lose. I took my family as an example. You take your family. Do not take others' family as an example. That is breaking the rule of communication. It is don'ts of communication. It is never a do's of communication. Next, when we talk about communication, there is formal communication, informal communication. If I am actually addressing on a lunch or a dinner and then the meeting is being held, I can be little informal. The dress code also can be informal. I can address you as bros, sisters.
that can be done. But when you step into the office, when you step into the college, when you step into that, what you call it as Gurukul, there has to be a formal communication on it. Treat every single man with respect. How you look at others, people follow it. Everyone, Baraile! What kind of example are you giving? Ramesh sir, please come. He will remember you for your lifetime. We always address people with sir and ma'am, irrespective of their age. Why? It is out of respect I am telling, it is out of love and likeness I am saying, I want to treat all human beings alike, irrespective of what vertical of job you are doing. So that is very, very important. Formal and informal communication, we speak on that. Extempore and prepared communication. I'll be giving you this, I'll be putting a chip and then you will have to pick up and then you will have to spontaneously speak. That is called as extempore. You are not prepared for the topic. As a teacher, when you go on the dais and when you start taking up a classes, sometimes the classes has to be fine-tuned according to the requirement and you will have to change then and there itself depending on the audience. So always you should be ready for extempore. It's not always a topic will be given, number of minutes will be told well in advance and you are going to come and speak. No, sometimes you say, sir, the next speaker has not come. Can you extend it for another half an hour? No, sir. No, how can you say that? Yes, I will. Sir, one more new speaker has been added up. The half an hour speech, can you minimize it to 15 minutes? Yes, sir. Arrow is in your hand. Target illidru odibeko, target allidru odibeko. Distance and time should not matter. That is having a skills of communication skills. Communication andaga just putting words alla. I know how to shrink it when the target is very close by, 15 minutes only. Still I should hit the target. Okay, if it is there, still I should hit the target. You should know how to handle that. Extempore and prepared communication we are going to speak. Interpersonal and interpersonal communication. See what I mean by that is, sometimes ಬಾಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಮೋಷನ್ಸ್ ಬೇರೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸಿಬಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋ ಎಮೋಷನ್ಸ್ ಬೇರೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ನೀವು ಹಾಕಿರೋ ಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಕೋಡ್ ಬೇರೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. That communication we talk about interpersonal and interpersonal communication. Communicating with the outside world is called as interpersonal. Intrapersonal is my body completely communicating with me and is it in sync? There was a big apple and small kumblukai. Lot of confusion, big apple and small kumblukai. And there was a tall man and a short elephant. A lot of communication gap. And you are wearing a swimsuit and you come and take the class. A lot of communication gap. Why? Your entire parts of the body, the dress code, the body language, nothing is in sync. So we talk about intrapersonal and interpersonal communication. One of the best way to sync your mind, body and soul is yoga. Most of the prayers is like doing yoga also. You will be bringing your mind and body together and create that soully atmosphere, and then when you address people, miracles will happen. It will directly touch the subconscious state. For that, regular meditation is required. You should sit in non-doing, observe yourself and recollect what are the points that I want to say, and it has to be religiously practiced. And always remember, when you go on the dais as a teacher, it is like nothing of me, everything of him. Remember this. When I go on the dais, it is always nothing of me, everything of him. And he comes and he flows through it. So you will have to leave yourself free, allow him to flow through you. And don't get with this ego, I am only going, I am only talking, I am only influencing. No, you not even can wink your eye without his will. Everything is happening because of thy will. But if you are not ready, he will never be ready, because choice has to be made by you. Today I will have to come and participate in everything what Malik sir says. Choice has to be made by you. No, I don't want to participate. Choice is again yours. He will not interfere. When you come with the fate I shall do, and people have come with this fate and they have done miracles. This Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi came with this fate, I'll chase the Britishers away. It transformed him into father of nation. A very ordinary teacher decided I'm going to help enough people to have free treatment. A very ordinary teacher from a foreign land who came to India, settled in India and became Mother Teresa. Why? Because of that faith she believed in. It is nothing of me, everything of him. When I come on the dais, when there is pressure, when there is butterfly, when there is uncomfortableness, when there is non-cooperation from the students, tell yourself, nothing of me, everything of him. and things will fall in place. For that, you will have to bring him, and then you will have to sit in meditative posture every day, deep pranayama, deep inhale and exhale. When you practice it over a period of time, it builds that confidence, and you will see slowly your body will move. It's like a martial arts, it's like a dance, it's like a singing. That flow should automatically come. It has to be practiced. I don't walk, I don't stand, I don't sit, I always is in one position. You cannot become a good teacher at all. You will have to be dynamic when it comes on the dais. Yes, normal subjective English, don't try to be dynamism, because dynamism sucks energy from you. It requires a lot of energy to take a PD class. But in your 1 hour of session, 5 minutes has to be that PD session, where entire energy is being put and one arrow is left. One day in one class, one arrow, one particular topic. So work on that. We will also speak on in communication. When we say 1-to-1 is very comfortable, 1-to-2 people stress is high, fear is high, 1-to-too many people stress is still more high, 1 among so many people stress is still high, fear is still more high. In a public speaking, it is still more right. To record the video knowing that if I do a mistake people will shout at me, it requires still more higher fear, but you should be able to handle it. Why? Nothing of me, everything of him. Result, leave it to him and keep doing the work. That's what should be the teacher's communication. Now, always you should also tell others, good academic and technical skills will definitely take you to an interview. Okay, but what I mean is, good academic skills and technical skills will definitely take you to this trainer's job. But if you want to jump the level of success, you need to have excellent communication skills. A person can become a director, a chaiwala can become a prime minister, a paper boy can become an Abraham Lincoln, or a small exchange program teacher will become Mother Teresa. It is only because of excellent communication skills. If you want to climb the ladder of success, you need to have excellent communication skills. So we will work on what is this excellent communication skills. There are some ads. When I share it with you, you can always go through that. First is, as a teacher, I should also show importance and create that importance of English within the students also. Otherwise, students look for excuses. Sir, Kannadadalli helkottidre chennagiradu, namak chennagi artha agutte. I am ready to teach you in Kannada. But when you know the communicative language the world is using is English, and when you speak in fluent English, there are much more bigger opportunities that is welcomed by you. Always continue to speak Kannada. Over that, this and that concept has to be maintained. I shall speak Kannada also wherever it is required, but I shall learn to speak fluent English also. This has to be sown. This seed has to be sown by you into every student whom you are going to address, because if he needs to get into the interview and get that job, in the interview he has to perform. The draftsmanship certificate, the AutoCAD certificate, the computer skills certificate, whatever you give will definitely take him to an interview. To get through that interview, he needs communication skills. You are responsible to influence him in that. So when we talk about communication skills, any kind of a company, I talk about IBM, Mphasis, all these people are ready to take ordinary MS Office known people also. There are a lot of BPOs run only by Infosys, lot of BPO only run by Accenture, lot of BPO only run by TCS, Tata, and also a lot of BPO run by Wipro. They just need +2 completed students with computer skills, provided they have excellent communication skills. So you will have to sow that seed. So what I say, a person would have walked in to become a welder. But as a welder, the progressive job offerings may not be so good. His path may not progressively jump and the salary may not jump, and he may not land into a job where he can comfortably say, now I am settled, I can take care of my family. So it's better to give him communication skills, give him also computer skills. At any point of time, if he wants to shift, let them shift. So that you will have to be emphasizing. These are few of those words. Now when we talk about communication, mending our English language is very important. All of us communicate. It doesn't mean that we don't communicate. But the way we use English is completely horrible, because even during our school days, the English teacher did not teach us spoken English skills. He taught us subject language skills. And most of the English medium schools, 90% of the so-called English medium schools, the teachers are not paid a big salary and they are not been recruited. because a person who is highly qualified would definitely expect an higher salary. When they are taking anybody for a lower salary, his communication skills may be not at par. Not to put disgrace to their profession what they are doing. They are doing justice to whatever they are doing. But their communicative language, if it is scaled between 0 to 10, it is below 5. IELTS and TOEFL, if you give them a reading skills, writing skills, listening skills, typing skills, understanding skills exam, their score will be much lower than 4. And they would be called as teachers who will be teaching subjects to the students. So what happens? They only put the words, they do not teach communication skills. And their spoken English grammar skills also would be very horrible. So we would be handling such students as our students, as a training officer. So we need to build a vertical where soft skills should be made compulsory for every student who walks in. Today, the new education policy not only is bringing back our ancient Indian history which we had worshipped. See, when we look at the entire world, all of you should feel proud, because the technology has gone to a level which was unimaginable. Today, most of the Indians don't know, for this technology, one of the main pillar is Indians who gave that 0 to the world. Most of our own Indians don't know. They know more about Britishers came. Idiot Britishers are pehle we were most intelligent people in the world. That's why people came from north, east, south, west, because they wanted to learn knowledge. We always believed Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam and we always spreaded Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, and we were the people. What are you talking about BBMP drainage system? Go back to our ancient history, Harappa and Mohenjo-daro civilization. If I excrete here, let me use that word, you will never be able to find out where it is going to go out. None of it will be misused. Everything would be converted into a manure. That is the kind of system what we followed. We called Bhugol how many years back? So many thousands years back. Bhugol means our earth is round only. One of the avatar of Vishnu also says, when something was lifted in order to bring it out, bring that life into life only, the earth was lifted and it was not square box. You look into ancient scriptures that has been written in Belur and Alebedo, in one of the avatar, he lifts the earth and earth was gold. We were the most intelligent. One of the American writer writes, there is nothing that is happening in the world which has not been already written in the books of the ancient Indian history. And that ancient Indian history was omitted, and Britishers came. Before that also we have lived our life. We have given 0 to the world. The world is thinking and appreciating the technology. It was difficult to give the 0. And let me also say, when we say decimal system is an extract of Indian numbering system, which was given by Aryabhatta, and that Vedic mathematics, people are still doing research. How could India become so intelligent? How was India so intelligent then? Our Ayurveda, our Vedic mathematics, our yoga, you cannot imagine the kind of miracles that we would have done then. In Nalanda University, we had 1000 universities and people flooded from all over the world to do, because it is in our blood. Aapke blood mein kahin pe dalenge to that ancient is there with us. You will have to bring it out. To bring it out, you will have to go to the past, sit in meditative postures, sit in pranayama, and the teacher of theirs will flow in you. A teacher should be like Chanakya, who says, what Chakravarti are you? Anybody can become a Chakravarti. There is a small argument between he and his friend. When I say a teacher, you should be an incarnation of what is called as Chanakya, because it is the same mud. You cannot escape from it. Every breath that he has actually taken in and left out, you are actually inhaling it. It is there. None of the memory is going to be forgotten. And that person picks up a street slum boy and makes him a Chakravarti. Why? That is the challenge of a teacher. There is Chanakya in every one of us. There is Dronacharya in every one of us. There is Aristotle in every one of us. And we are capable of doing that miracle. So we will talk about the way language has to be spoken. And also remember, most of the degrees when it is being given, let me tell you one of the facts, because you should know why communication plays an important role for you also. I'll read out one of the facts. In 2007 and 2008, about 500,000 engineers will graduate from 16,000 colleges in India. From a supply standpoint, the industry will require 2 lakh graduates, of which 30,000 will be employable. There is something seriously wrong in our communication skills. That is what I was trying to express. So, What we are actually focusing, this is a beautiful write-up. Whenever you have time, go through that, and it will be nice for you to share it with your students. Because all of us know the big brother of the world is US. Most successful businesses are run in US. But today, in all those most successful people, CEO is an Indian. Dell CEO is an Indian. Microsoft CEO is an Indian. Accenture CEO is an Indian. In ISRO, top 5 scientists are from India. NASA, ISRO. When we talk about NASA, most of the ISRO scientists are there. That's the beauty of we Indians. So when I talk about US, a small survey was made. According to the survey, ಯಾರ್ದನ ಒಬ್ಬ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಿನ್ನ ಮಗನ್ ಓದಿನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ means about your son, what do you want to give importance to? If you say education, communication skills, emotional intelligence, knowledge, what he will say? Education. Everybody will say education, education. Education okay, communication skills, ನನ್ನ ಮಗ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ನಮಗೆ ಮೇನ್ ಆಗಿ ಬೇಕಿರೋದು ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್, ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್. ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಶನ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ನೋ, ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ರೀಡ್ ಔಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗೋ ಹೋಮ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ರಿಫ್ರೆಶ್ ಇಟ್. A recent survey conducted in United States of America placed actually education at number 6, knowledge at number 4, and they put communication skills as number 1. In their national education policy, what India has brought, they have introduced this communication skills. Communication skills plays a very important role, and this communication skills was introduced in latest education policy. So in every verticals of your job, you will have to follow this education. So education will be the last. Before that can be knowledge, but first skills will always be communication skills. This is what is one. Second, in order to build emotional intelligence, all of you know there are two kinds of intelligence. Intelligent quotient we say IQ, and one more is EQ, emotional intelligence. EI we can call it as. This emotional intelligence or emotional quotient or intelligent quotient, this works in two verticals. What is emotional intelligence? It is the emotions which is disturbing you when you want to actually do something in your life. So most of us experience this, and most of our emotional intelligence is very, very low. That is the reason simple failures will push us to thinking, why should I live? I don't want to live. I am feeling like committing suicide. He scolded me, I am feeling like going and killing him. All these are losing balance on your emotions. So the only place where you can improve your emotional intelligence is coming on the dais and speaking in front of public. Why? Because this is where you will be put into such an high state of emotional imbalance, and if you can balance yourself there, then your emotional intelligence will be under your control. So what do I mean by that? When I come on a dais, when I am actually standing here, I am also disturbed. I am thinking, are the guys understanding whatever I am saying? Am I actually overthrowing the words? Am I not actually inspiring them? Is my words not being pronounced properly? Am I committing any grammatical mistake? Am I actually living to the standards of the expectation of this institute? So all this turbulence is going on. What if one of them does not like? What if all of them will not like? And with all this emotional turbulence, there is a lot of disturbance that is being created. I will never be able to perform. But for those who come on the dais again and again and again and again and experience this, slowly that fear runs away, and they will have a very high level of emotional intelligence. That's the reason most successful people have one thing in common: they will be excellent public speakers. I will again repeat, most successful people in any vertical of you take up, those who are very, very successful have one skill set in common. They will be excellent in not just communication skills. I am talking about public speaking skills. Why? Here is one of the experts who writes. His name is Dinesh Kumar. He writes a small extract to tell how could I climb the ladder of managerial post. I enter into a job, I become a manager, then I become a senior manager, then I become a CEO, then I become a chairman. It has to be like that. From a chai wala directly to chief minister, from a chief minister directly to a prime minister for the second time, and also a member of the entire world. They are also a leader. This growth can only happen when your emotional intelligence is under your control. If public speaking would have been excellent in case of our Rahul Gandhi, he would have been somewhere else. but his communication is horrible. I would like to invite him, please come. We can give you such a training, and that too in this institute only, and we can bring a miracle out of him. Communication skills plays a very, very important role. As a teacher, when you can communicate properly, a personality has been created by the students. A teacher ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ರು ಏನೋ ಒಂಥರ ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಟೀಚರ್ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ರು ಬರೀ ಕುಯ್ದಂಗೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ, ಕರ್ಕಶವಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಯಾಕಾದ್ರೂ ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನೋ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. So the choice is yours. You can change from that level to this level, because you should be ready to take feedback.
You should make your own colleagues to sit and tell, please correct me, not in everybody's presence. You attend my class, observe everything what I do, give me an input where all I am going wrong, and that is the best way of actually correcting yourself. It has to be done. And public speaking has to be experienced. You as a teacher, you are not coming out of the comfort zone. If I would have called in your class and demonstrate the same thing, you would have demonstrated much better than me. Why? Because that is your comfort zone. You are not trying to break open that comfort zone and come irrespective, in spite of how many audience are there. I am going to stand and I am going to speak. I am going to simply express myself. Rest I leave it to him. He may help you get impressed. That is a different story. I don't want to impress you. I simply come here and express myself. That should be your communication motive. Now, emotional intelligence can be grown as per this write-up. When you go home and you can see, there are two wings of this eagle if he wants to fly higher and higher and higher. One of the wing is emotional intelligence. Come out in public and speak. Even if it is in the road, if I see somebody has done some mistake, I will not wait. I will stand on the car and I will make this announcement. I have done that. When we wanted students, we did not have students. I went out on the dais in Lal Bagh and I stood in front of a lot of people and I started telling, and people came. So you should break open your comfort zone. Do not sit in that comfort zone. It holds good even for the students. It holds good even for me, because I cannot be standing and expecting the students to move. No, I should also be moving ahead of them. Alexander led from the front. He did not say, "Aap log jao, jao, jao." Ashoka did not actually say, "Aap log jao, ladai karke wapas aa jao." No, come, we will go. That Uri attack, come, we will go. The captain was in the front. You should be a much, much fast runner. So, one of the wing is communication skills, another wing is emotional intelligence. To develop emotional intelligence as a teacher, you should experience different kinds of audience. You should experience different, larger audience. This has to be practiced. You should get online also. It requires a lot of courage to come online. Get onto online. It makes your life beautiful. And always remember, dress code is very, very important. So, wearing a tie, wearing a blazer, perfectly putting your tie exactly at the center of the belt, wearing an ID card, tagging your collar button, wearing perfect matching tie, light color shirts, all this makes a lot of difference. IT companies today expect that it should be. Even for a ladies, irrespective of whatever dress you are wearing, if you can wear a blazer on your salwar or your sari, it comes out. It always makes others feel wow. That has to be practiced. It is not going to be comfortable, but it has to be practiced. It's hot, but still it has to be practiced. We talk about this. Formal dress code always complements your communication. If I would have been in any other dress code, you wouldn't have loved it. Only because of this code, you are liking it still more better. And today, the market trend is, they are trying to check your other non-verbal communication skills also. So, resume, when you send it to an IT company, they are not accepting. They say, can you send a video resume also? Why? A resume can be prepared by somebody like me, who is a professional, and make the candidate look beautiful. I put all kinds of experience, I put all kinds of positive things, I use such beautiful and perfect English, and I express yourself in a 3-page resume, and the resume is sent. Everybody looks at the resume, wow, this candidate seems to be very interesting, call him for the interview. And what is interview? Interview is matching the resume with the candidate. And most of the HR have faced this problem. When they look at the resume, it shows some animal, and when the real person comes, it is completely a different animal. Excuse me for using that word. Why? What I am telling you is, it is very important that you actually maintain the whatever the strategy you have mentioned, do's of yours and qualities of yours that you have mentioned in the resume should be exhibited. So what people say, non-verbal communication. Can you create a resume of yourself?
At the end of the session, I may ask you if you will have to create a resume. That means a 1-minute video of yours right now. What will be that 1-minute video? With the greeting you start, you tell your name, you tell your qualification, you tell your experience, you tell your awards, what you have won, and tell why you want this job, and conclude your speech. Beautiful. It has to be practiced. We will go for that practice if at all we have time. So non-verbal communication, wearing the perfect dress, wearing the perfect makeup, not too much also, not too less also. You should look bright. That is very, very important. That has to be followed. And English is also very, very important for communication skills. If you do not have proper English skills, that means pronunciation skills, proper fluency, proper vocabulary of words, proper sentence formation, even when you talk, when you use any of this in a wrong manner, your personality gets punctured by the audience. Always remember, people will not correct you. Now, there will not be any corrections. But looking at the dress code, one personality create. Now, personality hair will start going in if it is positive. If it is negative, hair will start coming out. So, when I start talking, what kind of words I use, that will again create a personality. If I use one wrong word, for zero, if I say zero, most of you will feel like taking a pin and puncturing the personality. But you will never say, sir, zero only, zero only. You will not correct him. But what will you say? Is this the guy I will have to work for? No, I'm not going to work for him. I'll change my department only. If the zero sir is in my department, I'm not going to work. So what happens? It's very important that you maintain this. And today what has happened, in order to get this skills trained for every person, they renamed it spoken English skills as soft skills. Soft skills is nothing but spoken English skills only. It is a new name given in the old vessel, that's all. So that is what we are going to talk about. Even if you are an MBA without excellent communication, it is not going to work. Always remember, in this cutthroat competition, whenever you are meeting people, every time you are meeting a people, you are trying to sell yourself as a product, because people will be watching. Who should be put for what project? Who should be given the promotion? Who should be made an HOD? Sometimes experience based when it happens, I'm not going to talk about that scenario. When it is skill based, there what happens? People are always observing you. They may keep some group discussions within the working staff just to find out who is good in that project, and then they will make him a leader, they will make him a project lead, they will make him a project manager. So for that, communication plays a very important role. Because of the cutthroat competition, you should be good enough to sell yourself like a brand. When you can sell yourself as a brand, you can do miracles. Otherwise, it will not happen. Now, when it comes to communication skills, all of you should understand there is a very close association of communication skills to your zodiac signs. People who are Virgo, their communication would be having one kind of a style, and if you understand that style, you can keep working on that style and make it perfect. Like that, different zodiac signs will have the different kinds of communication. We will try one or two. We will take two opposite ones: Leo, Simha, Virgo, Kanya. How many of you are Virgo? 1, 2. Okay. We will go for Virgo, and I am going to read it for you. Although you may seem shy, I am also Virgo. All of us are very shy. Now on chair mele kuntidre, shy full agirtive. Although you may seem shy and self-conscious, you are very charming talker in the situation. All of us are very charming talker. If you have not started to speak, it's not his responsibility. How can you say I am a charming speaker? I don't speak only. Idiot, if you are not speaking, that is your blunder. Open up your mouth. And when you open up your mouth, it comes. And it has to come like that only. Talker in the situation where you feel relaxed and at ease. But the way to see how well Virgo can communicate this, pick an argument with them. It can be very tough to keep up with Virgo communicators. We are Virgos. How many of you are Gemini? Raise your hands. Let me understand, what is your zodiac sign, ma'am? Okay. Kumbha Rashi. Okay. No, we will take up one more.
By dates, sir.
Gemini. It is according to dates. So we will go for Gemini. I'll just tell one of it and then we will go to next. What I'm saying is,
the star signs, and there is an energy level in the universe which slowly associates us, and we will be capable of doing as per the support of that energy. All of us believe in that. We did not one day come. We know there is him, and there is lot of other elements also. When I talk about Gemini, Gemini being a natural communicators, you make lively, entertaining conversation, even though your opinions frequently change color, or color change ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ, rarely dull. You like chatting about every subject under the sun, and most interesting in the other people. You want to chat about other people, thus setting up a natural communication line. Like that, different zodiac signs will have different influence on your communication. I'll be sharing this, so that go home and try to find out what is your style. So I'm not talking about this zodiac style. I'm talking about the style of your communication. Forget about this. Oh, Malik sir's style of communication is like this. Ravi sir's style of communication is like this. Can I adopt that style? Yes. You watch Mungaru Male for 10 times, you will say that dialogue better than Ganesh. Para, 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 kerkondu. You will say that. ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಕೆರ್ದಿರೋ ತರನೇ ಇರೋಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲಿ. ವೈ? Because I actually enacted that style by rigorously following it. I will have to rigorously follow it. I'll have to act that, and then when I practice and when I do it, it comes. I need not have that perfection, but at least a little less than that. Ravi sir is having one style which is very good. I'll pick up that. Ramesh sir is having one style I always like about it. I'll pick up that. Ravi sir one mistake always ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. I will also not use that. So when you communicate, identify others' communication styles, pick up the right kind of communication styles what they use. He always expresses with story as though it has happened to him. I will pick up that style of expression. He will never actually irritate others in his communication. I will pick up that style. Like that, you should be able to use your own style and start influencing the audience. These are the style of communication. Now the same old one. When we say communication, what exactly is communication? It is a process of transferring message from one end to another. Most of our communication is this. I express something, you will have to understand, and you will express something. Sometimes it is called as a question answering session. That is what happens. So whenever we say communication, there is a sender and there is a receiver. So there we talk about the barriers of communication. There is a person who is going to send, he is called as a sender. There is a person who is going to receive, they are called as a receiver, and there is a path through which it is traveling. If I do not have a mic and the audience are more and there is a lot of noise from the outside place, then what happens? My barriers are too much, my hurdles are too much, irrespective of, in spite of whatever I try to communicate, I cannot influence the audience. So identify, and sometimes bottleneck will be somewhere else. Bottleneck will be from the sender because he is not pronouncing the language properly, or bottleneck can be from the receiver because the receiver is not able to understand, his languaging skills is little low. So I should be able to handle it. Or the hurdle could be the barrier, mic work agde irodu or voice clean and kelste irodu. So whenever we talk about communication, you will find a lot of such things here. So what are the communication barriers ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಾಯ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಅದು ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ದ ಫೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಪೀಪಲ್. ನಾವು ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮೂವಿ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ವಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ದ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್. The face of that language is quite faster. The accent is quite different. So ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದೇ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಯಾವ್ದನ್ನ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮೂವಿ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದಾಗ, ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿರೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಅವರ್ ಬ್ಯಾರಿಯರ್. ಆಕ್ಸೆಂಟ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗದೇ ಇರೋದು ವಾಸ್ ಅವರ್ ಬ್ಯಾರಿಯರ್. ಸೊ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಇನ್ ಕಾಲ್ ಸೆಂಟರ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ಡ್ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ BPO ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಸೇ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸ್ಪೀಕ್ ಇನ್ ಎನಿ ಆಕ್ಸೆಂಟ್, ವಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎನಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. We at least want you to compulsorily speak in neutral accent. You should not have mother tongue influence. So when a Malayali speaker starts speaking with a Kannadiga, it will be very difficult for him to understand because the language and the accent will be completely different. But the same person, when he speaks the same language with another Malayali, he catches up very fast because the receiver is very strong because he is aligned to the speaker.
So either there are a lot of technical terms which we will be talking. Because of the shortage of time, we will not go in detail. But whenever we talk about communication, three very important aspects that you will have to remember. One, who is your audience? Okay, and what is the message I am going to give, and what is the style of my delivery of my message? This has to be understood. It was communication skill class only, but I did not blindly come. I asked the person who was in charge, ma'am, who will be my audience? She told they are teachers who are already having 10 plus years of work experience. So I should understand who are my audience, and I should fine tune myself to use the example which will relate to my audience. That is very, very important. And then different audience, different examples, different message. A and hakid takshana, it is not for kids. But whatever I say, I can use A also, because you are not kids. So this who is very, very important, and what is the message, what is that ultimately she wants me to actually tell to the audience, importance of communications and what all should be followed in communication. I started explaining that. What is the time limit she has given? She has given a maximum of 2 hours. What time did we start? 9:30, 10:30, 11:20. We still have a lot. How? What is my style of the communication? Style, attitude of communication, verbally what text I am going to use, non-verbal communication. All this plays a very important role. All this has to be perfectly done. I will go for important slides because I don't want to waste your time. This is very important. In communication, there are 3 styles. One is passive communication. When I am talking to an LKG student, you will have to speak a little differently. Do you want a chocolate, please? I cannot come with you. Do you want a dosa, please? If you say, "Nee, one pat anta kodtira," what would you like to have? The dosa, or shall we go for rice items? The communication will change. And ಯುದ್ಧಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಚೈನೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಗೈಸ್, ನಾವು ಯಾವ ತರ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ? No, it does not work. I cannot be passive like that. Chinnus, shall we go? No. हम जाके खून लेके आएंगे. Are you ready? It should come with the josh, and when it comes with the josh, aggressive. So what we say, your communication sometimes will have to change this, because sober communication will not actually give you results, but aggressive communication definitely will not give you results. But sometimes sober, sometimes assertive, sometimes aggressive. Passive communication, religious people, they speak and they are very effective. I'm not saying no. Sadhguru speaks very passive. He hits the subconscious state. Art of Living, Ravi Shankar ji hits the subconscious state. Assertive speakers. Vivekananda is an assertive speaker. Hitler is more aggressive speaker. So like that, when you look at an important leader, you can qualify and tell them these people are aggressive communicators. Aggressive communicators is Hitler. Aggressive communicator is Alexander. Aggressive communicator is all majors. Because when they will have to lead a battalion for life and death kind of a situation, they will have to be very, very aggressive then. Subhash Chandra Bose, आप मुझे खून दो, मैं आपको आजादी देता हूँ. That is how it has to be projected. I would have shouted on the top of my voice, but that is what we call aggressive communication. This also is very, very important. Next, what are the influences of communication? This is very, very important. ನಿಮಗೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, even from the students' perspective. ನಾನು ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ, I think by evening 6 o'clock we are going to have a seminar and all of you will have to speak on this topic. The moment I say to you or to the students, 90% of the time what they will do, they will start looking for words, points and words, points and words. 1 week idre Friday vargu they will be only looking for words, looking for points, looking for words, looking for points. Friday evening they will finalize the points, and Saturday morning they will start preparing, and Saturday in the afternoon they will have to deliver. Is this the preparation what you will have to make? That is reverse preparation what you have done. 7% should be for words. That means now ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪದಗಳು, words are only labels and the listeners will put their own interpretation on the speaker words. Words are not so important. What is more important is 38%. When I say 38%, paralinguistic. What I mean by paralinguistic, the way I speak, the accent what I use, all this makes a lot of difference. And the voice modulation what I use, this is more important. You should spend 38% on this. Andre
ಒಂದು ವಾರ ಟೈಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ದಿನದಲ್ಲಿ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟೆಡ್ ದಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 2-3 days paralinguistic ಮೇಲೆ you should have concentrate. Next 3 days, next 5 days you will have to concentrate on body language, because 55% of the influence that falls on the audience of the speaker is what body language he uses, what the speaker looks like, is he neatly combed, is he presentable, is there a smile in his face, and while delivering the message, how is his decorum, how is he actually using the task, is he addressing everybody, is he looking into the eyes of everybody. All this makes a lot of difference. I'll be sharing this. Please remember, this is how your preparation has to be for every class. Points will be there, it will be given, the syllabus is already prepared, the lessons are already there, but how I present the lesson, that means 38% paralinguistic, 55% what we call body language, that is going to impress your students. You will have to focus there. When we talk about communication, I wanted to speak about one more important thing. When we talk about communication, what exactly influences the audience before the speech and after the speech? Let us understand this concept, very important slide. When we talk about the audience preliminary analysis will be, ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ನಾನು ನೋಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಯಾರೋ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಅಂತಾರನೇ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ, ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಕೂದಲು ಒಂದು ಚೂರು ಇದೆ, ಏಜ್ ಒಂದು 35-40 ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಆಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಏನೋ ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಏನೋ ಬಟ್ರಸ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು. You will be anticipating all this. Age ಎಷ್ಟಿರ್ಬೋದು, ವಯಸ್ಸು ಎಷ್ಟಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಮಕ್ಳು ಎಷ್ಟಿರ್ಬೋದು, all this will be running in your mind. Qualification ಏನಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಂದಿರ್ಬೋದು. This is the preliminary analysis. But the moment you start speaking, all this is forgotten. People only look at your facial expression, people only observe your smiles, people sometimes observe that blindness what I create, people observe your movements, people also observe the sound that you make while you are on the audience. So this is where your focus has to be. This is irrelevant. What age? Irrelevant. What background? Irrelevant. What attitude? Irrelevant. What appearance? Irrelevant. Contacts? Irrelevant. But right now when you come on the dais, can you express your facial expression to a level that audience should feel, wow. Can you smile every now and then and bring out that happiness? Sometimes can you create that blind moments and sounds? All this plays a very important role. And when we talk about communication, we are told one-to-one, one-to-many. One more very important slide which I wanted to share. See, when we communicate, can we communicate using 4 dimension? When you are given a chance to watch a movie, if I say we will go for a cartoon movie 2D, we will go for a 3D movie, and we will go for what is called as 4D movie, which one would you like? I give you a choice. Now on 2D movie ಹೋಗಬಹುದು, 3D movie ಹೋಗಬಹುದು, 4D movie ಹೋಗಬಹುದು, 5D movie ಹೋಗಬಹುದು. All of you, if you have gone for any of the amusement park, there is one movie which is shown in 5-dimensional. What I mean by 5-dimensional means your 5 sensory organs are consistently given the inputs. When you actually do that, the story sounds very interesting. Only when you go for this amusement parks, you get into a cinema hall, you will have to hold it like this. It takes you through the forest. It gives you the fragrance of the forest. You can smell the forest. And when you go through the cloud, they create a pseudo cloud. Cloud alla ni maache paache bandanga agutte. When it is shaking, the chairs also will shake. That means your 5 sensory organs are trying to get an input, and you will find how interesting is this. Now the challenge is, can you communicate in this 5-dimensional direction? Can you actually communicate using this 5 dimension? I will be sharing one so that you will understand, yes, communication can also be done using all 5 dimensions. Here is a beautiful story. I had my cousin sister, her name is Lata. My cousin sister and me, we were very close because we were of the same age. We were just like good friends. Right from the childhood we were friends. The moment our marriage was decided, I also felt our marriage is already decided. And I was little feeling uneasy, but it was marriage, it was decided, marriage happened and everything was done. And now she was supposed to be sent to our Maike. That means she was supposed to be sent to her husband's house. You know how that ceremony happens? Before sending, they look for one such girl who can accompany her, because it is the first day she is going to her in-laws house. So when they were looking for a girl, no girl were visible anywhere.
I was very close to her. Everybody were discussing, ಯಾರು ಇಲ್ವಲ್ಲ, ಯಾರನ್ನು ಕಳ್ಸೋದು, ದೊಡ್ಡವ್ರನ್ನ ಕಳ್ಸಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಬೇಜಾರು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಏನೋ ಬರಲೇಬೇಕಿತ್ತ ಅನ್ನೋ ಥರ, ಯಾರನ್ನಾದ್ರೂ ಹುಡುಗನ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಯಾರಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನನ್ನ ನೋಡೋಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎ ಗರ್ಲ್ ಅಂದೆ, ಆದರೂ ನನ್ನೇ ನೋಡ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಅಂದೆ, ಆದರೂ ನನ್ನೇ ನೋಡ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ ಈಸ್ ಕ್ರೈಯಿಂಗ್. And for the first time I saw my sister was crying. My cousin sister Lata was crying. I looked at her, you are crying? You want me to come? I'll come. Don't cry. I became emotional because I never had seen my sister crying. I was angry with every one of them, but the moment my sister was in tears, I couldn't handle it. I told, I'm going to come. But I told, tomorrow morning you will have to send me back. He told, okay, tomorrow morning I'll send you back. So actually when I got into the car, I was looking like kebab mein auntie. Okay, husband newly married is here, wife newly married is here, beach mein I am sitting, and both of them are looking, why are you here? Because there yalla saman ittidu. Now I was in an helpless state. I told, shall I go? I never wanted you to come. I did not cry because you did not come. I cried because something got into my eyes. But with that emotion when you come, how can I ask you to go? Sit now. Every crying does not mean we say yes. Sometimes it means we say no also. Then I did not know what to do. I was simply sitting. I told, tomorrow morning as soon as I wake up I will come. Because if I get down from the car, all these aunties, they will Bhadravati Nadine arasbidtare for lifetime. So I told, nothing doing, I am going to come with you. Okay, and I went there because it was already late night. They were having best nights. They put me into one room, and early morning I had to rush out. So I got up early in the morning without even having any breakfast, not even washing. I just wanted to come back home. And it is not too far also. One is in Wilson Garden, one more is in Diginet, a short distance. So I wanted to come out, pick up an auto and go. When I was about to go out and I was about to open the door, my sister got up. Emily, wait. I don't know, for the first time you have come to this home, I don't want you to send without giving your favorite sweet, jamun. The moment they told jamun, I could not move out. My steps got stuck there only because me and jamun, we are good friends. The way I eat jamun, you will get a complex. So I told, jamun means I am going to wait, but give me early because I'll have to be. Okay, it is already done. Sit on the dining table. I went, I sat on the dining table. I am sitting here. My sister's father-in-law, mother-in-law, husbands, and her brother-in-law's brother. They are sitting. Everybody is served 2 jamun. For me, 5 jamuns. Everybody is watching me because 5 jamuns are there, like this. I pick up one jamun, I close my eyes, I bite, and I start chewing it. I start feeling that sweetness in my entire. I don't want to open my eyes because I'll get distracted. I want to emotionally feel the jamun. I chew it, and I gulp it. It goes into my stomach, and then I take up the next and I enjoy. After finishing one jamun, I'm looking at everybody. Everybody is watching me. And my sister told me, he simply loves jamun. Don't look at it. You have your jamuns. I closed my eyes. I picked up one more jamun and I took a bite. When I did a bite, something kachak happened. That sound kachak was little disturbing, but if I open my eyes, I will lose out on that sanctity of whatever I was eating. So I started chewing, but I could feel something inside. Kachak, 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 it was coming. And for something, my sixth sense told, open your eyes. When I opened my eyes, on the other side of the half jamun, one tail was waving. Lizard tail. That means the half of it is already inside. Now, right in front of me, 4 people are actually. I did not know the emotions, but jamun cannot come out. Once it has gone inside, it cannot come out. Now we will stop the discussion there. Now, I don't have a sister like, her name is not Lata also. If she is going to her first night, why will she carry? So, all this is an expression of mine. But if I say, man is giving jamun in the afternoon, how many of you would like to eat? You will look at that and you will find the lizard there. It's waving its tail. And you will say, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ತಿಂಗಳು ನಾನು ಜಾಮೂನ್ ತಿನ್ನೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಮಲ್ಲಿಕ್ ಸರ್ನ ಮರಿಯವರೆಗೂ ನಾನು ಜಾಮೂನ್ ತಿನ್ನೋದಿಲ್ಲ. So, if you look at me, I communicated using all 5 dimensions. You saw the jamun in front of me.
you smell the jamun in front of me, you actually touched the jamun in your tongue, you could feel that tongue when I told I was chewing it, and the taste also. Good experience, bad experience. Lizard was there in you also. You were also biting that lizard. Okay, and your expression became something like this. That means I have communicated using 5 dimension. Can you communicate using this 5 dimension? That is the skills that you will have to learn. That's the reason some of the teachers will remain in your memory for lifetime. Why? They do such powerful communication. So these are few things which I wanted to share. Dress code really makes a very big difference. And one of the other very important thing was about public speaking. All of us know that public speaking experience is very fearful. So there I wanted to put out some of the points, like whenever we say communication skills, always remember what is the biggest fear that the world fears. Number 3 is actually called as death. Number 2 is snakes. Number 1 is public speaking. That means it is being told as per the research that maximum humans fear public speaking the most. All of you thought death is the most. No, death is actually third. All of us fear, most of us fear snakes, that is second. And the highest fear that we experience is of fear of public speaking. And that fear of public speaking, if you are able to conquer, you definitely can become an excellent communicator. So how will I overcome the fear of public speaking? For that, we follow a very simple 3 E rules. What are those 3 E rules? First is, when I go on the dais, I definitely experience fear. So don't try to act as though you are not experiencing the fear. Don't try to fight it. You tell, yes, I am experiencing fear. Yes, I am feeling uncomfortable, I am experiencing fear. What is the outcome of this fear? I am feeling butterflies in my stomach, fine. I am feeling my mind is going blank, fine. I am feeling my throat is dry, fine. I am feeling I am not able to recollect words, fine. I am feeling like I am dancing inside. But all this is happening to you, none of the audience. So don't try to fight the fear, experience the fear. And while experiencing the fear, try to explore the fear, acting confident. Yes, ye sab kuch ho raha hai. But something which rises has to come down. The sun rises, the sun sets. The moon rises, the moon sets. It is an example of life. Something which has charged has to get discharged. So the fear which has gone up has to come down, but you will have to just wait, act confidence, just wait, act confidence. And when you act confidence, slowly you will start enjoying the fear. When you start enjoying the fear, most of you are thinking, I'm enjoying, I'm not feeling uncomfortable, I want to talk non-stop till 5. Why? I have got into this level. But students are newcomers, you are not going to experience this, but when the audience is larger, you also want to come experience it and simply go back at this level only. Then what happens? Your confidence will not get built up. Pata pata matadi, I will just leave. Why? Because I am experiencing the fear, I am leaving this dais with that fear. That is the biggest mistake what all of us do. What you should do, come what may, what can you do? Actually speaking, this is the safest place. If I teach you cycling, there is a chances you will break your leg or somebody else will break their leg. If I teach you swimming, you will drown or you will hold the coach also and coach also will drown. If I am teaching you mountain climbing, you will also fall. Or Daradotike, you will take 5-6 people also and fall. But on the dais, there is no such thing as physical danger. But still, you fear this most than death. If you can conquer this, how can I conquer this? Ask yourself this question. What is that is going to happen to me? Right now I am standing on the dais. I am asking myself, I am feeling uncomfortable. So, my throat is dry. So, I am going blank. So, irrespective of, in spite of whatever the experience is, I want to push myself to the next level. I will explore the fear. Is creating uncomfortableness, is creating butterflies in my stomach, my mind is going blank, my throat is getting dry, I'm feeling heart is beating quite faster. It is good. If it beats faster, that means you are running fast. Physical exercises automatically happen. Be happy. Nothing wrong will happen to you. But when you continue, the fear slowly goes off. When you attack a fear, when you attack a fear, the fear is not going to come down. So what we say, when you face the fear, just face the fear.
the fear will automatically come down. If you avoid the fear will go monstrous. So one of the biggest barrier of all of us when we come on a dais and have a different audience and we need to speak is we experience what is called as fear of public speaking. So how do I overcome it? I overcome it in this fashion. So the class ends for now. If you have any feedbacks, all of you can give, and then if you have any questions, I'll try to answer. Thank you for all of you. Thank you, love you all so much. Wishing you most cold coffee. Now it has become cold coffee. So